Well, sometimes when it's smaller, it's better. And if you guys remember recently here at the channel, about a year ago, we reviewed the Gekko 1500 from Steel Will. And what we saw in that design was an amazing, not only premium folder in its fit and finish and its materials, but also in its performance. It was just a great outdoors wilderness folder, or for those of you who just like a big EDC folder, it had a lot going for the Gekko design in a folder capacity. They also have some fixed blades models that we've reviewed as well. And to be honest, I loved the Gekko 1500 so much, I was really hoping and wishing, man, I really wish there was a little bit more of an EDC-able version of this, because though this is an amazing, amazing folder, it's pretty big, pretty heavy, and just isn't quite on the compact size to carry it on a daily basis when you're going into town, going around the office, you know, just around the house. It was a little big for those type of activities in my mind. And thankfully, the guys over at Steel Will saw the same thing and have recently come out with a smaller version of the Gekko design. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce to you the Gekko 1551, one of the few variants that Steel Will has produced this year in 2016 in their smaller folding Gekko line. And man, am I excited to show you what is being produced by Steel Will and what this mini Gekko has to offer you. So I hope you guys will join me as we dive into the ins and outs of this Gekko 1551, and we'll take a look at it and see if it really is an EDC-able version of the Gekko line. And by the end of this video, I hope you'll know whether or not this mini Gekko is going to be the right folder for you. This blade, guys, really the business end, the sharp edge, the cutting edge of this knife is so unique to me. There are very few that you'll see with the type of style that Steel Will has gone with. The people doing some of the artistic portions of the blades over there at Steel Will are doing a great job. We got like dual swedges up here. It's not really a clip point, it's not really a drop point. It's just very unique. I love that. What we're looking at here with the compact version is a 3.5-inch blade, which is awesome. I think it's like a 3.4 on the actual cutting edge. We're looking at a saber grind with, then again, like I said, dual swedges, one a little bit thicker on the spine, and then one a little bit narrower here and here, and these edges are all rounded, and that's where you just see, again, the attention to detail, where you really see the craftsmanship of the knife. I just really love that aspect of it and what they're doing with it. So nice drop, very good. The maximum thickness at this little flat spot right here of the saber, where then before it transitions back up to the swedge, the upper swedge, is going to be 0.13, so just a hair over 1/8 of an inch thick. This is made out of N690 steel, made in Italy, which is just awesome steel. Very pleased with that. I've had great experience with it. It's rather rust resistant, holds a great edge, and it's easy to get a fine edge on it. But really, what are the capabilities of this very elegant, very handcrafted looking blade? Got some hemp rope here. Nice. Seat belt flies right through that. Woo. Slicer, for sure. And a big old wad of paracord, like it was nothing. Seeing is believing, guys. I mean, you've seen it right there. Superb. Just the way that they've ground it in, the fantastic saber grind that they've put on it makes it fantastic for food prep, makes it great for cardboard cutting, rope cutting, nylon. outdoors use, feather stick making, stuff around the campsite, you know, even with that rounded spine, even though it does have swedges, you know, you can actually get some rather good control with the back of your thumb on the back of the spine, doing the finer detailed work. It just gets the job done. And these swedges with the clip point and the strength that that tip offers you, it definitely has the blade shape to be a full-on, you know, tactical blade for those interested in it. We'll talk about traction plan in a minute and how that may kind of hinder the capability of the actual blade shape. The blade shape is a very deadly shape that could be used in that capacity and is also strong for the task that something like that where there's lots of stabbing and prying can handle, but the handle traction leaves something to be desired in that aspect that we'll talk about in a minute. But overall, guys, for the larger high-end EDC tasks, dang, can this thing perform. How about the handle and the ergonomics on this knife? Just like its big brother in the Gekko 1500, this guy has the exact same lines and, you know, feel and just design when it comes to its handle. And now with these new mini models, they have multiple different flavors and colors, and they may be even coming out with more, but I know at the moment, the one that we're looking at here is black G10. They also have a different color G10, if I remember correctly, a few different micarta colors. So there's lots of options and color combinations that they're coming out with, which is really cool. So you can kind of pick your flavor and go from there. But this is the black G10 handled version. So just to go over a few specs and dimensions for you on the handle itself. From the tip to the front, we're looking at 4.4 inches, and then we're looking at a maximum thickness at its maximum thickness part of 0.6, so 0.6 on the overall thickness. Now the one trade-off that you are getting with this knife, and particularly in the handle, is that the steel liners are not milled out. So you're looking at a total weight on this mini version of 5 ounces, which is on the heavy side for me for pocket knives. The trade-off though in the weight, though a little bit on the heavy side, there is this feeling of Italian quality, if you will, and because it's a little bit heavier, because it's a little bit denser, it just feels like a higher quality item. So that's the trade-off that you're getting. It's not the lightest knife, but it definitely has a little bit more of a denser, heavier feel, higher quality feel in your hand and in your pocket. And just like in the review of its big brother and the genesis of this whole Gekko folder line, the ergonomics are outstanding on this knife. They've done a great job rounding off every single detail. There's no hot spots. It's all ground perfectly. It makes it stand out from the crowd of a lot of other folders out there because most don't have quite these angles, but none of these angles create any sort of hot spots. And you can see here in my large size hands how perfectly it just sits right there in my hand. I got about a 1/2 inch sticking out the back. I got a nice little bit of a finger guard here just to kind of keep it nice and secure. And that hump right down the center splits my hand perfectly. I never feel it, don't even know that it's there. And the attention to detail is really insane on this knife. How every single edge has been rounded and smoothed off. Even the spine itself is not a squared spine. It's a rounded spine. It's a rounded lock, as you can see there. And the jimping is just so well done. It's not super sharp and aggressive, gets the job done, gives you just a little bit of a thumb ramp up here, and it just is perfect. Not, again, not too sharp, and just very comfortable with that very slight thumb ramp and that very perfectly etched in jimping. On the back end here, we are getting a little bit of a glass breaker pommel, so that is a feature. You can see there when I am holding it, it is exposed past my palm if I did want to do a strike with the knife like that. I would say that the best two uses for the way the handle is set up is either woods use, if you want to use this as just a super premium outdoors knife. You know, its big brother is fantastic at that and one of our go-to outdoor folders. Or of course, EDC tasks. It's fantastic and feels great if you are looking for more of that little bit heavier premium EDC folder. Though it does have solid jimping with a little bit of a thumb ramp and a little bit of a flare out right here, because the G10 is so slick in the hand, it's very polished, so there's really no texture to it. It just doesn't have quite the grip that I would be looking for if I was looking for a more self-defense tactical folder. I don't think it's quite there for those type of features. There are a lot of other knives that not only Steel will, but lots of other companies make that would just be better if you're looking for more of that utility tactical knife out there on the market, where this is a better outdoor EDC knife. So there you have it, folks. Very elegant, perfectly ergonomic, fantastic handle on the knife. So how about price? What's this thing gonna be running us? Well, these mini Gekkos are gonna have an MSRP of $199. When you really consider that for the Italian-made ultra premium steels as well as ultra premium fit and finish, I think that's a very reasonable price point. We're gonna have links in the description below because when we post this video, I know it will have just been released. So we're gonna have links over to the Steel Wheel website. Once it become more available, like on Amazon, we'll have links to that as well. But out of the gate, it's gonna be MSRP again of $199. So for a street value of under $200 for these mini Gekkos, I think that's a great price point for the fit and finish and really just custom feel and just premium feel that you're getting with these blades. Fantastic. So if you got the money, you know you're going to be getting not only, I believe, a good value for the materials, but also you're just getting that primo blade. So the deployment and locking mechanism, we have fantastic thumb studs on both sides here that are totally ambidextrous. You can just see how nice those are. Kind of cone shaped, very easy for you to grab. They've kind of milled down the liner right here so that you're able to easily grab it, engage the blade, and that'll fly open without me even flicking my wrist, which is fantastic because they do put bronze bushings in here, which is really good. So it's not only very durable, but very smooth, super smooth deployment, ambidextrous deployment, and very solid with the bronze bushings. Now the locking mechanism is a lockback design, and the lockback is right in the center, which is great. It's always good to see lockbacks in the center. Sometimes when they're back here, I do not like that because it's very difficult to close one-handed. This one you can close one-handed, again, because of the bushings that they put in here and the weight of the blade itself, but just a great, super solid lockup, zero play, left, right, up, down. There's no wiggle room at all, and there's a perfect seam that matches, almost making it look like a fixed blade back here near the spine. You can see that there. I mean, just look at that. Unless you really look at it, it almost looks like it's just one piece of steel. So it's just perfectly aligned in there, which is fantastic. And you are able to disengage it, swing the blade down, kick it, and close it one-handed. One thing to note is that the blade doesn't really have any sort of distance between the guard and the blade itself. So if you're holding your finger right here and you kick it down real sharp and real fast, the blade could nick your finger. So just be aware of that as you are using this one-handed, but you can do it. Open it, squeeze it, kick it down, close it, all one-handed, which is awesome. So great deployment and lockup for the knife. So folks, just want to run in real fast for you the original Gekko 1500. We did do a review on this almost a year ago. I will have a link in the description below to that video. This is a great, very large folder, but it is big. You know, we got 4 inches versus the 3.5 on the blade. We're looking at 6.3 ounces overall weight versus the 5 ounces. So that's definitely noticeable as well. And we're looking at a 5-inch handle versus the 4.4 inch, just to kind of give you, again, some perspective with large size glove hands. You can see there. Huge amount of real estate sticking out the back versus a smaller amount of real estate sticking out the back. So that's what we are looking at here on these two, and just wanted to give you some size perspective. Again, for me, this is definitely more the EDCable option. This is definitely more the outdoors woods option. So we got a good pocket clip here with a good medium ride. You can see here we got the lanyard hole. We got the, I don't know, not satin, but it's probably kind of a flat gray pocket clip right here. So it's not super obnoxious, easy for me to grab, tip up only. I love that. And because of the perfect thumb studs on either side and the option for rotating the pocket clip, this is a totally ambidextrous folder. So that is awesome and rides real nice in the pants. Well, folks, it's time to bring this review to a close and kind of give you my final thoughts here on these new mini Gekkos. Well, right out of the gate, you probably guessed it by now, I really love the miniaturized version. In between the larger and the smaller, I'm definitely going to gravitate towards the smaller folder for my around town EDC use. The larger versions, I think, are still going to be fantastic for out in the woods, for a true woods folder, and these mini versions are going to be the way to go for the EDC size. I love the premium features, I love the fit and finish, and I just love the shape. The Gekko blade shape is just so attractive to me and just has such a level of connectability, and then the handle as well, just being so contoured and just cool fit and finish. I mean, it's just phenomenal, honestly, in what Steel Will has landed upon with all of their Gekko line, both in the folders and fixed blades, both full size and mini. But as you know, nothing's perfect, so if you were to ask me, okay, well, what would be the one critique? I would have liked to just see the liners milled out, maybe bring this down to 4.5, maybe 4 ounces, would have been like mind-blowing. But the 5 ounces does give it this sense of premium that you wouldn't feel in, say, like a SOG Aegis, you know, or a Flash 2. Nowhere near. They may be lighter and feel lighter in the pocket, but they don't feel anywhere near as strong and will last the test of time that this Gekko does. So the weight is a little bit of a trade-off, but it's a trade-off I am glad to pay for all of the excitement and just all of the fun and joy and just feeling of owning something that is Italian made, that is perfect, magnifico, whatever the word would be. That is just what happens when you hold a Gekko knife in your hand. So guys, there's big ones and there's little ones, depending on your size and your flavor and weight class that you're looking for and capabilities of your knife. Now they not only have the big beefy size, but they also have the more EDC-able compact size, and both are home runs. So folks, I really hope that this video has helped you out with your purchasing decisions and you've really enjoyed seeing these new mini Gekkos. As always, thank you so much for checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Check us out on all the relevant social media. Links are in the description below. That's a great way to see what's up and coming here at the channel. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.